Hi, class. So many of you are probably wondering, can I turn in an assignment late if I need to or if something comes up? So let's go over that. So can I submit essays after the due date? My general answer to that is yes. For most assignments, you have a little bit of a grace period. I do definitely understand that stuff comes up. You have emergencies, maybe, you just couldn't do it. So for whatever reason, you have that option. However, you may not submit any late assignments for the end of the semester assignments, such as the research paper. There are a few other little assignments due at the very end because we're up against our final deadlines, and then I need to get my grades in. So we want to make sure that all of those come in on the deadline, and that deadline is solid. So here's the deal. You may submit an assignment up to 2 days late, which is 48 hours. So our assignments are usually due on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. And that means that you can turn in your assignments until Tuesday night at 11:59 p.m. And then at midnight, right then on that deadline, the assignment will lock, and then you cannot turn it in after that. Okay, you may be wondering, well, then why wouldn't I just turn in every assignment late? However, there is a penalty. So this is in fairness also just to people who are getting in the assignment on time, which is what I prefer, so I have more time to grade the assignment. But if you do turn it in late, just be aware that there is a late penalty of 10% of your total points per day. So that means that on a 100-point assignment, a paper submitted 2 days late can receive only a maximum of 80 points. So it does lower your grade. It's not ideal, so you don't want to turn in late assignments very often. And it can affect your grade if you're turning in too many assignments late, your final grade. So please just, be conservative and only use the late option for when you really need it. All right, and so just a reminder that after 2 days, assignments will not be accepted. The assignment will lock, and you won't be able to submit it after that. Okay, when you look at an assignment also, this is what it looks like. And down at the bottom of your assignment, you'll see some dates. So you'll see, first of all, the due date, when the assignment is due. So let's say your assignment is due on September the 14th. That would be Sunday night. And then you'll also see that it says available from and until. So available just means when you can see the assignment. Like that's when I unlock it for you so you can be looking at it. But the other date is the until date. And that says September 16th. So that means that that's the late date. And that after September 16th at 11:59 p.m. the assignment will lock. But you always want to aim for that due date and the time that's associated with the due date, because that's what your maximum points will be based on. Okay, and then is there any way that you can get an extension for late assignments? Well, sometimes, yeah, it's really necessary. So I will provide extensions if you are sick, but you have to have a doctor's note for verification. So if you've been out with a flu for a week and you feel like crap and there's no way you can get the assignment done, and you can possibly pop in to check with your doctor and get a doctor's note. You can also go to the health center at GCC. If you don't have a regular doctor, you can go down to the health center. There are nurses there. They can take a look at you. If you go home sick with a fever or some other reason, you can go talk to them and they can give you verification that you were there. So that's one way. Another is with a child. So some of you are parents. If you have a child who's sick, I realize that that's a really tough time. So if you take your child to the doctor, you have a doctor's note. I'm happy to give an extension for that. And then the other thing would be legal reasons, such as jury duty. If you have any kind of legal issues where you have to appear in a courtroom situation, then those can also be extended or excused. Okay. Also, anytime we have any technical difficulties, like say Canvas goes down for a day, I might extend just the deadline for everybody. Or if I notice that a change needs to be made in the syllabus because it just seems like we're needing a little more time because we need to learn a concept better, I will also change those dates just for different reasons. I'll always let you know. But just keep that in mind that sometimes we're a little more flexible with those deadlines. All right. Well, thank you for listening. And mostly thank you for sticking to the deadlines because it really does help us to move forward at a better pace and it helps everyone to stay on track. Thanks for listening.